Hi everyone, this is Bob Perkins with the aa-isp, bringing you the Inside Sales Studio. We're actually live here in Chicago at the Leadership Summit 2016.
Having fun.
I'm having a blast.
Making it happen.
We are. I have Mark Kosoglow with us from Outreach. Outreach is one of our great sponsors and supporters making a lot of this possible. And we've had a chance to chat a little bit ahead of time. And let's start with this, Mark. What is your, what have you taken from the summit so far this year? Right.
Well, I think always at Summit, even at the smaller chapter events, Bob, I think the main thing that you get is just great conversations with people that come with a mindset to learn. And there's nothing cooler to me than sitting down with a bunch of people that are all curious together, and you're kind of shooting ideas back and forth and picking each other apart, picking each other up and figuring that out. But that's always, to me, is the highlight of these events, is these great conversations I have with really intelligent, smart people that are all curious and trying to learn. I think you've done a great job developing that kind of a culture here.
Well, you think about it, inside sales, whatever you call it, inside sales, we're kind of stuck in the office on the phone, right?
Yeah,
so this is a chance for everybody to get out and meet together. I think one of the most powerful things I've done in my career is go to other inside sales centers and talk and benchmark.
Yeah. It's just, you kind of get inbred.
Yeah.
You're always talking to your salespeople and your leaders and your managers and your reps, and sometimes you go out there, the world has a lot more possibilities than just your brain comes up with.
And you hear, especially here at this conference, you hear things you've never heard before, and you're like, I'm not sure that'll work, but let's be open-minded. Right?
Yeah.
Let's get into some of those ideas, some of those trends. I mean, there's been some trends, buzzwords. When I opened up yesterday, I said, hey, this is a community, we aren't following trends or buzzwords. We're following a mission. But one in particular, account-based selling, right? It's getting a lot of play these days. And when I started learning about it, I said, wait a minute, I did that 30 years ago. I targeted. So what's going on with this?
Man, I'm right there with you. So I hear account-based sales, and it makes my blood boil a little bit, right? I remember my first sales job, I sold stuff to schools. And I went into Bald Eagle area high school in Winston, Pennsylvania. And I walk in there, and guess what I had to sell something. I saw 14 teachers, and I sold something, right?
Yeah.
And to me, that's like what account-based sales is, oh, you know what? There's an account here. Maybe I might have to go talk to more than one person that came inbound to get them to sign, right?
Yeah.
So I think that we were talking about this earlier, but I really think that it's a return to the basics. If I really want to sign somebody and I want to create value, I have to engage in conversation inside that organization. And the way to do that is with what we're now calling account-based sales, which is really just good salesmanship.
And you in particular, I mean, Outreach is it's a sales enablement type of platform which helps. Yet I wonder if the last several years we've gotten so much technology producing so many leads with such a prescriptive cadence that we've lost some of that.
Yeah. Well, I think, so this is my synopsis, right, or my theory is I really think what happened is inbound became unbalanced. And everybody's trying to live on inbound, and they forgot about just good salesmanship outbound, like I want this account, I'm going to go get it.
Yeah.
Now we're kind of maybe tipping in the opposite direction where people are putting way more focus on outbound. And I think there is a nice 50-50 balance area where for your organization, you got to figure it out. So I think that that's what's happening. But as far as like losing the human personality, one of my 22-year-old SDRs put it best, I think. She said, listen, if a tool can do everything I do, then why would my company pay me to do what I do? And I thought that was a really great point from a young person. And they understand, like, this technology, its job is to make me more effective and to leverage the things that only I can do, so I'm doing more of them.
Fantastic. Great. Really good point. Let's not forget that. I think we can use that at future meetings and webinars and so on. It said really well.
Yeah.
Right. And
22-year-old.
I suppose
you're
still paying her there, right?
Yeah.
Mark, talk to us a little bit about what Outreach does. I know I've heard this, but for our viewers, where in that process does your technology play? Right?
Yeah, so for us, the most valuable thing that a company does is communicate with its customers, right, or its prospective customers. And so what Outreach does is it gives you a way to make sure that that communication is consistent, persistent, personalized, and on point. And so what you need is you need to be able to build a process and a communication plan to penetrate an account or to talk to people. And then you need to make sure that that plan is effective, not only as a whole, but each individual step and each individual touch point that you create. So outreach allows you to do that.
And I heard you, I think there were 4 Ps. One was personalized. So that's that person back in it. So this 22-year-old has the ability.
That's right.
Right. And what does that look like? What's that personalization piece?
Yeah, so we have a couple things, right? To ease people into it, we use these things called buckets. And what a bucket is there's 14 or so buckets that are generalized pieces of research. Oh, we're hiring more salespeople. We had a great quarter. I'm a long-time sales professional, like a LinkedIn profile type of situation. When we identify one of those buckets, we give our SDRs a bunch of questions that they can ask around those that they can use to start a conversation via email, a phone call, or LinkedIn. And then a couple quotes and case studies that then show the value prop that our customers are getting from those areas of challenge that they've had.
Yeah. And
so that's how we start. And that what that does is it gives somebody a framework to start to say, hey, this is how I should personalize. And then they kind of take it from there after they get good at it.
So you give them a lot of, over the years, a lot of reps that, oh, I need this, I need that, I don't have this piece of collateral. You support that piece of it, and then they can customize it.
I think we take, so instead of a rep saying, I need this, what we say is, hey, here's our inventory. Let's find the places where we meet. And what happens is it's kind of like a scavenger hunt.
Okay.
If you don't have a list in a scavenger hunt, you kind of look for whatever, and you bring it and you win or not. I don't know.
Yeah.
I've never had a scavenger hunt without a list. But if you have a list for a scavenger hunt, you go into the room and you look for that specific thing. And so that's what we do is we give them a list. Here's the things that you should look for. And so they get really good at finding them.
Great. Yeah. Sounds like a good tool. Now, as we close out here, you had some really good thoughts on account-based selling. I talked a little bit about technology. How can the viewers reach out to you if they want to talk to you more about your thought leadership or even talk to you more about outreach?
Yeah, for sure. Easiest way to get a hold of me is on LinkedIn. That's kind of where I live. I'm not a Twitter guy. I'm not a Facebook guy. I'm on LinkedIn. So that's the best way. And of course, you can always email me, mark.kosoglow@outreach.io.
We'll put that on the screen for the viewers to see. And finally, the aa-isp values your support. You know, our community, as we call it a community, is growing. And without your sponsorship and your support, we wouldn't be growing like we are. So thank you for that. And thank you for investing in the profession of inside sales.
You're welcome.
All right. Thanks.
Thanks, Bob.